Hey guys, Rob or Panic's here, and a lot of you might have seen me talking about this yesterday on Twitter, and here are my views on it. This is an off-the-cuff recording. I'm not sat down and written down what I want to speak about because I know what I want to speak about. I'm part of it. Um, I saw some I saw a video yesterday from I'll name him Metallic Design. I I'll preface this with I think he's a fantastic designer and he's an alright guy. And this in no way reflects my opinion of him or his work or any of the others involved. I don't know who else is involved, but the GFX uprising, as it's been dubbed, um, something we need to squash. Uh, I'll start by agreeing to some extent with Metallic. A lot of the COD community don't appreciate how difficult it is to do what we do. It takes time and it takes effort, and they think that anybody can do it. Anybody that can download Photoshop illegally can do it. And actually, there is some truth to that. Anybody can pick it up. It's not particularly difficult. It just takes a long time to get to a level where you are in really high demand, and it's it's not. I've seen a lot of gamers think, oh well, I can't afford to get work from X and Y. I'll find Photoshop and I'll do it myself. And they come out with a crap background, and then they think, oh, actually this is pretty easy. I'll do some more. So then they splurge out a shit ton of like really bad design work, and they think, oh, do you know what? I'll make another channel. I'll call it um, XX Sniper ZX GFX, and then they continue to splurge out shit under the guise that it's graphics. I am GFX or I am a GFXer. That is the most painful thing I think I've. Oh, I know the most stupid thing was I have GFX. No, I have a GFX. I heard. That made me want to leave YouTube altogether. Um, I am a GFXer. No. Ah, no. It's that I won't stand for that. Um, you're not anything in graphics, and this isn't me being really arrogant or anything like that. I've spent 6 years in on Photoshop, learning and practicing and improving and just generally earning my right to be able to make this rant. Essentially, um, I'm active in the graphics community. A lot of people follow me, and I respect that. I've said from day one that I'm a huge. Um, I love my fans, and I love that you guys tune in to watch my videos, because the truth is, if you didn't, I wouldn't do it. Um, and so I guess you guys see something that you like, otherwise you wouldn't be here. So I guess that kind of entitles me to make this video. A lot of people don't understand the time that goes into a project. A lot of people think that graphics is easy. And we're going back to the COD commentators here. I agree to a degree that there are certain people out there that just think, oh, well, they can do this for me and they can do that for me, and then they ask loads and loads of different things. And when you're like, well, actually, I'm really busy. Well, they're like, well, why don't you want to work with me? I've got 5,000 subscribers. It's like, what? So have I. Like, that means nothing. A designer with 2,500 subscribers, I wouldn't be expecting them to be working with people with less than 10k, maybe 20k. And that's the truth is, I'm a big advocate for, if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well, but also don't do stuff. Nothing comes for free, and that's not just money wise. That is there is a certain element of foot in the door work. So if you do this work for me, my subscribers will like you and maybe pay you. But the truth is, a tiny percent of whoever views the videos and sees a background on a channel will actually then be interested in having something done. So if, for example, you're working like me, I work with KSI very closely. he has almost 550,000 subscribers. Now, if 1% of that comes, it's 5,500. My maths is so shit. It's 5,500 people. If 0.5% come, it's 2,250 people. It's a lot. That's a lot of people for 0.5% of his follower base. If you're looking at someone who has 5,500 people, that's 225 people that might come to you, and that's just and these are just numbers I'm pulling out of the air. The realistic number is far less, and the truth is that while foot in the door work might be awesome, and you think, oh wow, I've got my background on a really big YouTuber, but there is only a select few that are decent guys to work with. I don't know all of them because I haven't had the pleasure of working with all of them, but I know guys that I won't ever work with again. And I know guys that when I was a smaller channel, only by the number of subs, my quality hasn't changed too much in the last 6 months. That would look to take advantage and to not take the piss, but ask for stuff over and over again, and then continue to get stuff changed. And the truth is, I don't have time for that. If you want to pay me, that's fine. I'll happily do it. The issue is, with designers like myself, I have to take time out of other projects to do YouTube. And I'm not talking about just backgrounds, but I'm talking about YouTube in general. So running Yeousch, running my own channel, all of the stuff involved with YouTube, I have to take time out of design projects or out of my social time. And the truth is, it normally comes out of my social time, the YouTube stuff. But the YouTube backgrounds, because people are paying me, I can afford to take them out of my project time. So, where someone pays $25, 25 quid for a partner background, that might take an hour and a half. That's not a lot of money. In fact, thinking about it, that's £17 an hour. And to some that might seem like loads, but I charge 50 an hour for my graphic consulting outside of YouTube. So in a huge sense, I'm shooting myself in the foot by doing graphics work on YouTube. And I do it because I like the community, and I like to think that there is something there for people to do, and I like to think that I inspire people. Whether I do or not, that's a different matter, but I like to think I do, and I like to think that me doing some cut price graphic work on YouTube means that somewhere out there someone has got a nice background, and their time on YouTube is improved. And I like to that's pretty much the only reason I do them. They don't make me much money, and they're quite easy, so they're not challenging. They don't challenge my design psyche at all. So yeah, there will come a day where I just stop. Not soon, because I like the YouTube community, and there's a far more definite flow of people on YouTube. So we'll see. But going back to the GFX rant, how can I'm kind of on the side of the graphics commentators here, the COD commentators. How can you take anybody seriously that's called XXX Snipers XXX GFX? Like, granted, my name is Panix, and that was my gamer's name. I was never very good at games. I never claimed to be very good at games. I was part of my brother's clan, just because those are the people I played Xbox with, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was more like a family than a clan. We didn't play competitively. We didn't do anything like that, and that's where my name comes from. So before you jump and go like, you got a name like that? No, I don't. And those that have GFX in their name that started a year and a half ago, I have no problem with you either, because that's what it was back then. But things evolve. It's the same as you don't still see people riding around on penny farthings. You see people riding around on like £2,000 road bikes. Stuff evolves, stuff changes, stuff improves. And there are still a lot of people there in the equivalent of the Dark Ages for graphics, and they're still calling themselves GFXers. And it has to fucking stop. It has to. Because the truth is, it's embarrassing for anybody part of the community, and those that are like me or better than me are just going to want to fuck off. Nobody's going to want to stick around in an environment where people are shit. And I'm not suggesting that people shouldn't get into it and try it. I'm completely against the thought of nobody being allowed to join in, but I think that I see so many people with GFX shop. Oh great, right, let's have a look. Partner background, £1. Non-partner background, £2. It's like, how long are you taking to do that? If you're taking any longer than about 2 minutes, you're underselling yourself, or you're shit. If you can't afford to charge 20 quid for a background, don't bother, because it's not worth your time. You should work on improving your skills by doing free ones and by working with the better commentators. If you think having a GFX uprising because a COD commentator has been a knob to you, just don't work with him. You wouldn't find yourself like you wouldn't go for drinks with a guy you thought was a knobhead. Like, what's the point in doing work for him if you're not going to get on with him? Foot in the door work is bullshit. Unless they have 600,000 subscribers, a million subscribers, don't bother. Like, I don't work for... There's a couple of people that I like to work with, but if someone had 100,000 subscribers and was a knob, I wouldn't do it. Case in point, I will name someone, Anto Holland. He's such a... I won't even go there. Working with Anto Holland was like cheese grating my balls every time he wanted something done. And then it got to the point where he gave up and said that he was just going to pay me because it'd be easier and he'd get my professional opinion. And don't ever bother with him. He's a waste of space. And there are other guys like him. I won't name any more names because it's unfair. But the whole community, I hear the word graphics community banded around a lot. The GFX community. Let's be completely frank and honest. The community's shot to shit. It's completely fucked from the ground up because of the people that don't respect other designers. I remember there was a time that if you were going to design a background for someone else and they already had one, you'd approach the person that designed the previous one to say, look, they've come to me and they've asked me, am I allowed? Will you allow me to do a background for this person? And there are so few people that do it nowadays, and that's why you see the big Twitter beefs are when someone steals a huge client, someone just goes behind someone's back and does something, and then they get it put up. Like, and the truth is, there's only a few commentators out there that won't bow into it. I'm really lucky in that JJ is a great guy, and that he's had other people do designs for him, and he said no. Like, Rob is my designer. And with that comes whenever he asks for something, if I'm around to do it, I will. He doesn't pay me in money, but he pays me in publicity, and it is publicity. It's serious publicity, and I can track the numbers of views I get from it. And that's the thing is, the COD community needs to change as well. Everyone needs to get off their high horse. You're not all Grizz. You're not all. Fuck it. I left the COD community a long time ago. I can't even think of people who are decent. And you're not Fearcrads. I think Fearcrads is amazing. You're not T Martin. You've got 2,000 subscribers and you're small. You're little. Know your place. I'm not saying you're shit. You're small. You don't have the power to demand things. If you want to invest, you bought an HD PVR. You bought an Elgato. You bought an Xbox. That's cost you about 300, 400 quid. You bought the games. You bought a TV. You've paid for Xbox Live. You've invested loads of money in what is essentially a hobby. It's not a job. Very few people can call this a job. I don't call YouTube a job. YouTube's not a job for me. It can't be for COD commentators because the truth is your numbers aren't big enough. So the fact that you can then demand free graphics from people because you think you're entitled is absurd, and it's offensive. And that needs to stop. So I don't know if any gamers are watching. Pay for stuff. You wouldn't go into a shop and be like, look, I've got 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'll have a free Frappuccino, please. You just wouldn't do it. And that's £2.50. Like, I'll write your name on my coffee cup and I'll tweet you out. Like, you wouldn't do it. It wouldn't happen. And people need to cut that shit out because it's getting boring and it's getting annoying. People come to me. People still come to me with 10 subscribers. Like, I'm a new channel. Make me a background. Like, no, no, it doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. If you've got something worth, if I've got something worth investing my time in, I expect to be repaid for it in some way. And your 10 subscribers, that are probably 5 of you are you, it's just not going to happen. So back to this GFX uprising. I appreciate the idea. In fact, I think it's stupid in the sense that you're there. You are a designer on YouTube because of the opportunities that have been afforded to you. You've been able to put work on big channels, and you've been able to have views directed towards you, because that's the truth. Is nobody just goes around YouTube being like, da, 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 here's a new designer. Oh, they're really good. I'm going to tweet about them. So, well, some people do. Not many, though. To grow your channel, you have to do work for other people. And to get to a point where people will pay you to do work for other people, or people will ask you, you have to do some free work. And you have to get your name out there. And I spent a long time doing that. About a year ago. In fact, probably further still. So, don't get annoyed at the COD commentators that want it. But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't do it and then be like, oh, you're a knob. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. I've already spoken for 16 minutes about this. I've still got more to talk about. I think what people need to understand is that this community will fail. It's already failing. People need to understand that it's not a cutthroat business. You're here for fun. It's a hobby. If you want to get better, come and talk to me. Come and talk to people like Evan Eckhard or Malkov or whoever. Speak to people and embrace other people's design. Don't copy design. Don't steal other people's clients. It really bugs me how fucked the community is. And I know we see this every day with the Call of Duty one. Do you know what we don't see it with? The Halo community or the Assassin's Creed community. It's because people aren't knobs. It's not all about making it big. You won't, as a designer, you're not allowed to make it to 500,000 subscribers. I'll be completely honest. I'll be lucky if I make it past 10. Those that have been doing a bit longer than me might make it to 20, unless you make a really lucky break. But the chances are slim, and that's the truth. That's the God's honest truth, is that you shouldn't be in this for the numbers or the money or the anything. Do it because you love it. So few people do that anymore, and it pains me. It really pains me. So my parting views are, this uprising won't happen. Nobody. It's game theory. For it to work, everybody has to stop. If 10 people stop, then another 10 will fill their space and be like, fuck it. There's an opportunity here. Excuse me. There's an opportunity here where I can jump in, and the better designers have gone, well, we're not doing it. So I'll do it. There will always be someone else. So the truth is, the graphics uprising, it won't happen. What it will do is the better designers that have had the initiative to say, I'm not doing it anymore, will stop, and will just be pummeled with even more shit design. Or shit GFX. And I've had enough with the word GFX. In the context of people making graphics accounts now. You're not a graphic designer. On YouTube, I've had this rant already before, so if you're interested in that, it's on my A to Z. It's under D for designer. You're not a designer. You're not. I don't know what word to use, because nothing does it justice. GFX is painful, and the quicker we nip that shit in the bud, the better. Yeah, that's essentially the one thing I want to get out today, is the people that are creating stuff now with the word GFX in it. Cut that shit out, please. Call it graphic design. I'd rather have it mislabeled as graphic design than see the word GFX everywhere. Oh, yeah. We're coming up to 20 minutes, and I've ranted pretty hard. But I'd like to think that there's at least some opinions that some of you can take away from this. The call to action would be to try and encourage people to drop the word GFX. So I don't know, if you're going to tweet about the subject, tweet about it with the hashtag um, graphics, not GFX. The hashtag will be in the title of the video. And that's just what I want is for people to realise that working with even clans like FaZe and Dare, that's not design. Lens flare, it's fucking shit. It's so bad. I'll like desaturate it and then I'll sharpen it about 50 times. Oh, and it's black and red. Yeah. 3D team fame or fume or phase or whatever. They don't give a shit. They get made one every hour of every day. They think it's good. It's not. It's not. It's painful. It's so bad. Stop doing that, please. The days where that was an acceptable level of creativity have gone. You have to be a bit more interesting now. The downfall of this community will cause the bigger and better designers like myself to leave. It's not worth it. I already find myself spending a lot of time on Dribble, which is a fantastic site because it's invite only. Only the good people can get a space on it. Only the people that have stuff worth posting. And that's the reason I moved away from Behance. I loved Behance. I thought it was a fantastic idea, but there's already so much shit on it. It's already saturated wankers. And fair enough, you might disagree with me, and the chances are there will be a fair few dislikes on this. I don't care. This is my opinion. This is what I believe in, and I'm in a position where I can make this video and I can talk about these things because I have experienced it. I'm not coming from no standpoint. I've been there. I've worked with big YouTubers. I work with little YouTubers. I've worked with people that are willing to pay for my work, and I haven't worked with people that aren't willing to pay for my work. So that's the bottom line. If a job's worth doing, it's worth being paid for. And if you think my prices are too high because some twat can do you a background for £2, have him do you a background for £2 and have me do one for £20, and we'll see which one's better. We'll see if my one's 10 times the value. If his one is less than 10 times the value of my one, that's fine. Buy your £2 shit design. See if I care. And I don't want people to think I'm ranting at people individually or at Metallic Design. In fact, I applaud. I think it's a very valiant cause to try and stand up to the COD community, but the fact is it won't work. So if you want to get involved, tweet using the hashtag graphics not GFX. And basically, let's not. I don't want a revolution. I don't want some kind of I don't want an uprising. I just want people to realise that what they're doing is terrible, and that people need to sharpen up and improve the stuff they're pumping in. Spend 2 hours on a project, not 2 hours on 10 projects. It's my mantra. So if you've not enjoyed this video, feel free to dislike it. I'm not one to say that you shouldn't like it, but if you think that I've talked some sense, then give it a like, share it, tell all your mates, because we need to get this out there. And if you're a subscriber and you think that this has undermined what you thought I was, then feel free to unsubscribe. I will continue doing the same things I'm doing. Maybe I'm always looking to improve. So I hope this hasn't marred your opinion of me, but I'm not one to sit back and I've wanted to do this for a little while, but haven't felt that the situation has got bad enough. Has worsened, and yesterday it did. So let's get the community working again. Let's have people doing collaborations. Let's have people chatting to each other. Let's not have people shouting at each other on Twitter. You get nothing by being a keyboard warrior. So I've been Rob Panics. This has been a very, very long rant. If you've watched it this far, kudos, and leave in the comments what you think. I'll be quite active in the comments. I'm going to see if I can get some of my pals in the graphics world to put their views in the comments as well. And if you've got an opinion, post it as a video response. I'll accept any ones that are valid as an argument on this topic. Don't just post speed ups because I'll decline them. So I'll end it with the hashtag graphics not GFX. Get it out there.